real love. Let this be the real thing. Tell me now.
So I bought this table off of Facebook for like Yeah, we're gonna put something on in a second. For 120 bucks. It's an 80s table, as you can see. It's got that nice golden oak look. But what I was looking at online was ways to make the table a little bit more updated. You can do a whitewash and maybe even like a Ceruse finish. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna take the polyurethane off of the table first and then make some decisions from there. I'm not a professional finisher, just a DIY wannabe, so yeah, come on and see. What's this? It's a stripper, paint and varnish stripper. You can find it at Home Depot. Like, it's pretty basic. Real professional. $1 plastic scraper. You can kind of see on the finish here if you look at it. This is the leaf. This is the center of the table. I wanted to do a test piece to see how much stripper to put on the big table and just to make sure I didn't do anything weird. So that's what I did this morning when I first woke up. I put the stripper on and then I waited about 4 hours and I scraped some of it off. Nothing fancy. It's very satisfying. Look at that. The spots that didn't come up, and you can see how it bubbles up. You can tell that it's ready to be scraped. Like, what is it? I don't know. It looks gross, but it's very satisfying. Probably the middle. This is solid. There's this little chip in the middle, which makes me think the table is a veneer, which doesn't really.
If it's a veneer, is a bad thing?
It's a veneer. I don't know if I can do like the Ceruse finish that I want to do. But that's what it looks like. It's a veneer. I can still whitewash it. And then even if it doesn't all come off, I am still going to sand this afterward to get up any finish that maybe got left over or any stain that's stuck on there. I can't really tell if this was stained. I think it was. Or if that's just the wood color, but I'm going to sand it either way. Well, to clean up any of the leftover stripper or varnish or whatever, we're going to use mineral spirits and steel wool because I saw some people doing that. And yeah. I'm gonna sand the tables to get the rest of the junk, the finish that I wasn't able to get off of it. But I don't know how it's gonna go because the tabletop is a veneer, so. splotchy. I don't know why it's all splotchy. So I sanded it to get the rest of the finish off. And there's just some real splotchy stains on it. I can't sand it too much because it's a veneer, so I just hopefully it'll get camouflaged whenever I do the final finish. But we'll see. Either way. Well, at this point, I was 100% sure that the tabletop was a veneer, and obviously we were looking at this little piece that needed to get filled in where the veneer peeled off. So we used this plastic wood product, and I overfilled it and pushed it into the little damaged area, and waited for it to dry. And in the meantime, I started to do the wire brush finish on the other parts of the table. So this is the part of the process where you're gonna brush out the grain portion of the wood, basically. So the wire brush basically pushes out the softer part of the grain, so you have a little bit of texture on the table for the Ceruse, the paint finish, to kind of fill in. I wasn't originally going to do this on the veneer, but I was getting frustrated with the splotchiness of the table. I kind of, at this point, was frustrated with the whole project. I think you get to that point with any DIY project. If you've ever done one, I think you know. But yeah, I basically just said, whatever, let's just do it, try to get the finish we want, and I went for it. So here's the process of brushing that out. I got my frustrations out that way. That's pretty much it. I did that on the tabletop, on all the edges, on the legs. Right now I'm just cleaning off the dust and crap off of the table so I can paint it. I'm gonna do the whitewash. I already did a test on the little leaf over here, and yeah, we're gonna have a go at the full table now. So I'm just wiping it down with a wet rag. You can see here I started to do the whitewash finish. What I did was I got some old water-based paint that I had lying around. I didn't want to go out and buy anything for this project since I wasn't sure how it was going to end up, so I really just used whatever paint I had, and I mixed it with water to get this consistency. There's really not any specific measurement. You just have to mix it and see, put it on the table, and then you'll see, let it sit for a minute, and then start to wipe it off. And you have to be kind of quick with it because it will start to dry rather fast. I don't know if it was the paint that I had because it was an old paint or what, but my finish started to dry really quick, so I had to be quick to wipe it off. After the first layer of the whitewash, the next step was to do a very light layer of the polyurethane. So that's what I wanted to test out first on the leaf portion of the table. This has been kind of my test piece throughout the project. So I did a very light finish of the polyurethane on the leaf. And then after that dried, I did a light wire brush again to see if I could really get the grain pattern, get the poly out of the grain, so whatever finish I put on would go into the grain. That's the part that you're gonna see next. You're about to see a lot of struggle here as I'm trying to work through this process. I did watch a couple of YouTube videos that I'm gonna link below, the channels that I kind of watched to get the process for this. I don't know if I used the wrong paint or finish. I probably did. I saw some people using glazes to do this process, but again, I didn't want to go and buy anything else. The glazes and things, it looked like a little bit more complicated and more of a professional setup, and I didn't want to be spending a lot of money on something that I was doing for the first time, kind of on a whim, and trying to get the Ceruse finish. I'm putting the paint on and then wiping it off against the grain to see if I can get it to stay just in the grain portion. It's not working out. It's going more towards that whitewash finish again. And you're gonna see I'm gonna get out a squeegee tool to see if that can help. It sort of works, but again, not really, because the finish ends up being really uneven. So I end up lightly wiping off the whitewash and then waiting for that to dry. And then I did a final sanding after this portion had dried off so that I could get the uneven portions of the paint that dried on there off and hopefully just leave the cerused white accents in the grains, but in the grain of the wood rather. So yeah, I tried to do the ceruse. It's kind of sort of worked. You'll see in the close-up images of the final table, you can see it picked up a little bit of the white finish on the grain, but nothing like the inspiration image that I had in the beginning. I overall am happy with the final look of the table. It's a little bit more rustic than what I first imagined, and you can still see some of the splotchiness show through. I love the way the legs turned out. The solid wood portion of the table looks awesome. I don't know that I can say I would do it again, but I really am happy with the final result, and yeah, I'm glad I did it. So here you go. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching my video, my first ever YouTube video. It was quite a challenge, but we're happy with the results. And if you like DIY projects, design, anything like that, please like and subscribe because we have so many projects on our to-do list. My husband will tell you. So please,
never-ending project.
Never ending. Our house has so many projects that need to be done. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, please like, subscribe to watch. I'll have more videos out soon. I really appreciate any support, any comments. Let me know if you loved it, if you hated it. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.